Endgame. Endgame is a very important piece of content when playing, well, any kind of genre of game, whether it's MMOs, looter shooters, or in more recent years, open world gacha games. Endgame is the content you're going to be spending most of your time in once you've done the story, or much of the overworld exploration. And Endgame is something that Silver Palace has an abundance of. Silver Palace has 3 different Endgame modes currently in this present moment in time confirmed for the full game's release, whenever that may be. So today I'm going to be breaking down to you guys what each individual endgame mode in Silver Palace is and why you need to be looking forward to it. If you enjoyed this video, as always, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you are new. Without further ado, let's get into this. Hilbert's Hotel. Now, in a previous video, I did in fact mention Hilbert's Hotel very briefly when discussing the gear system of Silver Palace. So, what is Hilbert's Hotel? Well, Hilbert's Hotel is going to be the first of the 3 endgame modes you will be unlocking in Silver Palace as you progress. This is the roguelike game mode, and the closest thing I can compare this to is the original Depths of Elusive Realm game mode. So let's go over here and talk to this lovely lady to go to the Hilbert's Hotel, and I'm going to break down what different things we have. So, in the bottom right hand corner, hopefully my camera isn't covering it, room number 1 is a most irrational number, room number 2 is algebra topology, and the third room is unknown because it's currently locked within CBT2. Each one is going to contain different enemy types, and each one is going to contain different buffs and debuffs as you progress through the endgame mode. There are 6 difficulties in each room. I'm currently stuck on difficulty 5 because it is rather difficult, and I can't progress my characters beyond a certain point right now, again because it's a CBT2. Each room is going to give you different rewards. You're going to be getting the reactor crystals, which is the limited currency in the game. You're going to be getting upgrade materials with these books, which is going to help you level up your characters. And you're also going to be getting the ounces, which is basically the coinage, the in-game coinage that you're going to be able to receive in order for you to also upgrade your characters. As you go through the rooms, there's a higher difficulty encounter, and also you're going to be getting different rewards. As soon as you hit difficulty 2, after you've done the first difficulty, you're also going to be able to acquire these things, the fake clippings. This is basically what you're going to be able to acquire to purchase your gear. You're also going to be able to acquire reputation, some more in-game currency to upgrade your characters. So as you progress, the rewards are going to be scaling up. Your first time rewards, as you can see at the start, is 300, now it's 500. When you get to the difficulty ones, it's going to get to 800, which is a rather substantial amount. The weekly earnings over here are here. I'm currently halfway through the second week of earnings. As you can see, 150, 150, 150 all the way along. This is accounting to 950 of the reactor crystals, which is amount to about 3.5 pulls every single week. You also have the membership privileges, which is also going to be your skill tree. As you know, if you've played any other roguelike in any other gacha game, there's going to be a skill tree. This is what you're going to be able to acquire every time you clear a stage in Hilbert's Hotel, the membership stamps. The more stamps you have, the more upgrades you can purchase, all the way up until the end, being the lucky perks and then these 4 premium ones at the end. The more you progress through Hilbert's Hotel, you're going to be leveling up your Hilbert's level. When you reach the maximum of the Hilbert's level, you're going to be getting different rewards, such as, again, the reactor crystals, your level up materials. You're going to be getting weapons, basically, the mysteries, and at the end, you're going to be getting a 4-star mystery, and I do believe, depending on the patch, the rewards will change as well. So this one is the heart rate mystery. This is going to be very good for something like Fervo, who is the surgeon healer in this game. The way the combat and the team setups work in Hilbert's Hotel is you're going to be selecting one main character you're going to be using on the battlefield. For instance, I'm going to click Cinderella. It's going to tell you the stats of Cinderella, of what element she is and what she's good against, and basically the resonance effects that she possesses depending on that character's element. Next, you're going to select 3 team members. So for instance, I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to select this one and this one, and I'm going to click check in. So this is the first room of Hilbert's Hotel. Click start battle. Then the battle commences with the enemies. So each room is going to have a different enemy type. Some rooms have bosses, some rooms have mobs, some rooms have the variety of the 2. So each room you go past, you'll be able to select a buff. As you can see, some of the buffs are going to go to your teammates. Some of the buffs are going to go to your main character you're using, and some of them is going to go for the entire team. teams. It's going to be a universal buff for any character. So in this case, since I'm using Cinderella as my main character, I'm going to use this because it's going to be perfect for obviously Cinderella. Cinderella being a fire type character, and as you can see at the bottom, it's going to have the special effects tab and the main character tab, which means it's going to cater to Cinderella. Sometimes you get 1 buff, sometimes you get 2, on a rare occasions you get 3, and this is the third one, which is going to be a universal buff for the entire team. As you can see in the bottom left, the energy bar in the center of the characters is building up. Now, the more energy in the center you have, the more times you can use your tagging abilities. For instance, if it's a full circle, you can use every single tagging ability at once. And this is not only going to buff your main character, this is also going to apply debuffs to the enemy as well. As you can see, the golden circle is filled again, so I'm going to use all of the buffs again at the same time. Now, you're going to be able to do this as much as you want, as long as you have your golden bubble built with energy. Eventually, you're going to come into contact with a separate room other than a combat room. Now, this is where you're going to be able to either do an event or a battle. I'm going to go to the event room, which is then going to give you one of these rooms. And in the center, you're going to be able to acquire a random event, which is basically going to take you through some dialogue. Then you can choose which one you want. Depending on which one you want, it's going to then give you one of these artifacts, one of these mementos, and it's going to again give you buffs or apply debuffs to the enemy. Then you just keep progressing through. If you go to the supply shop, you're going to be able to go to one of these people to buy something, restore HP as well, like a respite room basically. This is an elite battle, which means it's going to be a boss battle. I'll quickly show you. So as you click the elite battle, there's going to be a boss that turns up for you to fight. You are then going to be able to do check-in incentives. Now, this is the thing that's going to get you epiphanies, going to get you clippings. You can do double, which means it's 150 clippings. Obviously, this is the level 60 random epiphany. That is the basic gist of Hilbert's Hotel. When you want to exit Hilbert's Hotel, you can actually save progress, which means eventually when you go back into Hilbert's Hotel, it's going to basically start you on room number 5 and progress to the end as well. So don't think, oh no, I have to go for something. I haven't completed the Hilbert's Hotel level yet. That's okay. Click save progress. It's going to resume you where you was prior, which is pretty good. So the second of the 3 endgame modes you're going to be able to unlock as you progress through Silver Palace is that of the Thought Experiment. Now, Thought Experiment is essentially Spiral Abyss from Genshin Impact. It's familiar with Tower of Adversity from Wuthering Waves, but it's easier to compare it to that of Spiral Abyss. So when you come into this endgame mode, you're going to have a maximum of 10 rooms. The first 5 rooms you complete is a single team based mode. It's going to enable you to select one team for you to go into the room and kill all of the enemies in under a specific certain point of time. So the first 5 rooms is going to be very similar to that of Tower Adversary. Now, when you get to room 6 to 10, that's when it's going to ask you to select 2 teams. So it is a maximum of 2 fully built teams for you to complete everything in the Thought Experiment. For instance, if I show you, so here we are in the Thought Experiment, the first room. So you'll see a hourglass. You click the hourglass to start the battle. And then when the battle starts, you're just going to basically need to defeat every single enemy in the Thought Experiment in order for you to progress to the second room. Now, my Cinderella team is very much built. It's built. She can do a lot of damage, which means the first room for me, as you can see, is very easy. Now, my second team is not built, which is why, as you're going to be able to see very quickly, this room is finding it to be a little bit more difficult. As you can see, the HP is not going down near enough at all. I'm not doing much damage. So you are going to need to build 2 teams in order for you to beat this endgame mode. Otherwise, there's simply no point. That's the second endgame mode. Now, depending on how far you progress through this endgame mode, you're going to be able to get a number of stars. Now, the higher number of stars you had, the higher number of rewards you're going to be able to claim. As you can see, I currently have 15 stars, maximum being 30 stars. And as you can see, there's going to be rewards like reactor crystals, ounces, and the secret science of all things, which is going to be the books to level up your character. Now, there are a lot of reactor crystals. This is more than a temple. This is, I believe, 12 to 15 pulls. But that's the second endgame mode, which is then going to bring us to the third and arguably the most interesting game mode of Silver Palace. Now, the third and final endgame mode that Silver Palace is going to be able to offer you is the Civic Commissions board, or in other words, what I like to call it, the bounty board. There are going to be bounties or different mysteries for you to solve. As you can see, I have very different levels of bounties. The higher the bounties, the higher the rewards. But these are going to be various different enemies for you to acquire, different contracts. It's going to tell you about the difficulty. You're going to be able to acquire the glory coins, and with the bounty exchange, you're going to be able to cash in your bounty for pulls, for standard pulls. So you're going to be able to get standard weapon pulls, and you're going to be able to get standard character pulls. This is one of the endgame modes that has the most potential, because the more bounties you complete, the more rewards you're going to be able to get. So this is a B tier bounty. It's going to give me 50 glory coins. The next bounty level you're going to be able to get is that of the A ranks, which is going to give you a few more rewards. After you complete the A rank bounties, there's going to be S rank bounties. And as you can probably imagine, the S rank bounties are going to be rather difficult and give you the most rewards. Now, what you do with these bounties is obviously you accept the contract. For instance, I'll accept this contract. Now you have the bounty to follow, and you have to open the bounty registry to follow the clues in order for you to find the target you've selected. Bounties reset every single hour, and then when I go to the bounty registry, your bounties are going to be here. And your bounty rewards are going to be there. Your bounty target is going to be here. So there's 3 different other enemies for you to defeat first. As you can see, you're going to solve each of these 3 investigations, and then it's going to give you the final boss being Hermant the Lender, which is the bounty contract. So once you get to the first location, you're going to see the first of the 3 targets for you to defeat. Defeat the first target. Now, some of these enemies do vary. You might come into contact with werewolves, you might come into contact with vampires, harpies, or in this case, a big woman with a right shield. Once you defeat the first target, then it's going to take you to this board. As you can see, the first part of this is complete. You then want to go to the second one. I'm at the second location now, so let's defeat this woman. Start combat. As you can see, I'm coming up to the third target. I'm going to now defeat the third target. Again, I'm going to absolutely blitz this poor innocent soul. Well, not so innocent because they're criminals, because it's a bounty. And then it's going to tell you, milestone achieved, bounty target has now been found. You're going to then get the track investigation. And as I said before, these refresh every hour. I don't know if there's a maximum limit at this present moment through the beta. There isn't. You can just keep refreshing every hour, and you're going to be able to keep accepting bounties all the way up to S rank difficulties. The higher the difficulties, the higher the rewards. And as you can see, I'm taking this guy down, and he's dead. Again, an A rank bounty is going to be nothing in the face of Cinderella. Bounty reward, there we have it. Go to the Civil Commissions board and it'll tell you where it is, and you go over there and you accept more bounties. But in my opinion, the bounty registry and the Civic Commission board's endgame mode has such potential to be great. If they keep increasing the difficulty, incorporating more ways to solve bounties, maybe even going to certain homes, going to certain buildings, maybe you have to track the enemy instead of just basically defeating enemies to get to the final enemy. They have such potential to expand on this game mode specifically, and it's something that I'm very much looking forward to diving deep into when I get to endgame modes, when I play the full final game. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this video was informative. Hopefully this video helps you understand how different game modes work. I'm sorry if I stuttered. I'm sorry if I struggled to explain certain parts of the endgame modes, but I did do my best to break it down for you. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all from me. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy and have a good rest of your day.